Hey, welcome back guys, and today we're going to talk about the Guilty Gear side story and why it is so important to farm. Now, this side story guys, it is going to be similar to some old side stories we had. We have 4 difficulties, with the Hell difficulty only being limited to 5 runs, and you will actually be able to see that you can farm this currency here, as well as some charms, gold, and stigma as well, to actually purchase stuff from the shop, which is from pressing the exchange button that you just saw at the bottom of your screen. Now from the shop guys, you can only really buy 3 things. You can buy Portrait of the Saviors, which is a 4-star artifact, Junkyard Dog, which is a 5-star artifact, which is Soul's artifact, and Copies of Soul, which is going to be a 5-star unit that is technically the free unit from the Guilty Gear collab. Now if you guys don't have Soul built, you actually don't need him for a lot of content, unless you guys still don't have a Golem team running. For Golem, he's pretty good for Golem because he does more damage proportional to the enemy's max health, which is kind of like Daydream Joker, and he just does a lot of damage for Golem and is pretty decent, but not really required because you can just use Sirmia now from the Hunt Expert event or Hunt Expert challenge. I don't even use my Soul at all, but if you do want a good Golem DPS, Soul is always here. Now Junkyard Dog guys, pretty useless artifact except for like some Abyss Floors and stuff like that. You're not going to really use this on anyone. You might use this later on some warriors that come out in the future, but highly doubt it. This artifact is kind of safe to skip over as well. Not really worth it at all. I think it is the least useful item from the shop out of the bunch, with Soul being probably the second. And the most useful item is going to be this Portrait of the Saviors, which is kind of funny because it is the cheapest and it's a 4-star artifact, and it is unlimited, right? So yeah, this artifact is super good. You're going to see that it is going to increase damage dealt when the target's health is 50% or more. And this might not seem like it's that great at first glance, but you're going to notice that this artifact can be used on a lot of units. So this artifact guys, if you're looking for a good damage dealing artifact for an opening unit, this artifact is going to be super good, and you're going to want to farm a decent amount of copies of it max limit broken. So if you actually see here, if I can actually find this dang thing, you're going to see I have multiple copies of this actually maxed out, because I do plan to use this on a lot of my opening units. So you can see my Benamaru has it, which is a very good user of this artifact. Free Spiriteria is very good on this artifact for farming adventure. You can make it so that you can one-shot the mobs very quickly. You can also use this on a lot of opening units here, such as like Landy if you use it as a cleaver. You can use it on Briar Witchesaria, very good on this artifact. You can use it on just a ton of units here that you actually want to open the game with, right? You can even use this on stuff like cleave units, right? So you can use this on like a Rand if you really need. You can use this on like Commander Pavel. Even like an Operator Sigurd, if you have her built, can use this well. Top model Luca can use this as well. There's just so many options. Anything that likes to, do damage to high health targets. So usually units that are fast, that want to open the game, and are damage dealing units that scale well with damage increases, we'll want to use Portrait of the Savior. So definitely important to get this artifact. Super good. I recommend at least like 4 max copies of this, because always will be a premier damage dealing artifact. So if you're looking for an artifact on one of your damage dealing units and you don't know what to put on, you can just slap on Portrait of the Saviors and it should be good to go. You can even see this on units like Alencia. You can also see this on like Last Rider Crow. A lot of options with this artifact, very flexible, so I definitely recommend getting at least a couple copies of this maxed out. Now this side story is pretty easy because it's pretty old, not really any mechanics you need to worry about. You can pretty much auto this with like any team, even through Hell, very easily actually, compared to like the other side stories we've had recently. But if you guys are for some reason struggling, then what I recommend is bringing a cleanser for the Dizzy stage. There's 2 stages in the side story. You want a cleanser for Dizzy because she has a lot of debuffs, and you also want single target damage because she takes less damage from AoE. And for the Jacko stage guys, you're going to want a unit that can also cleanse and also dispel buffs on the enemy, because you can see that she has critical hit resistance, and if you actually don't crit on her, you're going to notice that she will actually counter attack you, which is kind of annoying, and she'll also take less damage. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need. Just make sure you bring a cleanser with healing, with decent single target attacks, and also like a unit that can dispel as well. If you guys are finding some difficulties still, here are some team comps you can run. You can have Tamron here for healing, cleansing, and dispelling for Jacko phase, and for Dizzy phase as well. You have Aros here who can defense break, do a lot of single target damage with that, and also dispel with his S1. is Seria, who can defense break, do decent damage, and also dispel as well. And Landy, your main damage dealer as well, who can just do a lot of damage, single target, and buff your team with that speed buff. If you guys are looking for a completely free to play team, here's one I have built here for you guys. Very, very easy to build. All these units you can get, except maybe Spectre Tenebria if you guys didn't choose it for Moonlight Blessing, but you guys should have. And pretty simple. A lot of these units are replaceable with other units. Honestly, you don't even need to build a team comp for it. You can just run 3 damage dealers and like a healer, and you can pretty much just do this super easily because this side story is pretty simple. Shouldn't be too hard. If you guys are still struggling with these team comps, I recommend you guys are probably just not geared enough, and you probably want to farm a lower stage. Now, the currency that you actually need to farm the side story from this event to buy stuff from the store will actually drop one at a time. In hell mode, it's a 100% chance to drop. In hard mode and normal and easy, it'll actually be at a certain rate, with hard mode being the most efficient, normal being the second most efficient, and easy being the least efficient. But you guys should just farm the hardest stage you can just to make sure you get the most value. That being said, that's pretty much it for this video though, guys. Hope this helps you guys out, and as always, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if this video actually was interesting to you. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.